you're here because you want to understand what's really going on with the Imperial Beach single-family home market, right?
Yay.
Forget scrolling through endless articles. We've distilled the expert analysis to give you a clear, insightful picture of the current situation.
Exactly. We've taken a deep dive into the Imperial Beach Real Estate Market Update March 2025 from Don Lewis and the Lewis team.
Good source.
Yeah, very reputable. Our goal is simple: to extract the most vital information so you get a solid grasp of the market dynamics in Imperial Beach without having to, wade through all the data yourself.
Pay people some time.
Yeah.
And for those maybe less familiar, Imperial Beach is right at the very, very bottom of San Diego County.
Southernmost city.
It's got this fantastic kind of laid-back coastal charm,
Hmm.
a real mix of people and styles, and of course those incredible beaches and that iconic pier.
Can't forget the pier.
It's a place that just feels like quintessential Southern California beach living. And that appeal, well, as we'll see, it's a key factor in its real estate market. Okay, so let's get into it. What stood out to you from the February 2025 data?
Well, the first thing that really caught my attention was the incredibly low number of homes sold.
Really low.
Yeah, only just three single-family homes changed hands in Imperial Beach during February.
Wow.
And to really appreciate that, consider that's a 25% drop from the 4 homes sold in January.
Right.
And if we look back to February of last year, 2024, when there were 7 sales, well, the difference is even starker.
Yeah, 7 down to 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what's causing such a significant slowdown in sales activity. Is it fewer people putting homes up, or buyers maybe holding back?
That is a dramatic drop. Here's something that seems, well, it almost seems to contradict that low sales number. The median sales price actually jumped quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In February, it was $994,000.
$994. Okay.
Yeah. Which is a substantial, 28% increase from the $773,500 we saw in January.
Wow, 28% month over month.
It's almost counterintuitive, fewer sales, yet higher prices. What could be driving that?
That's a really interesting point. What this jump in median price, despite the low sales volume, likely indicates is continued strong demand for the very limited number of properties available.
The inventory factor.
Right. Even with only a handful of transactions, the fact that the middle price point rose so sharply suggests that those who are buying in Imperial Beach right now are, willing to pay a premium.
Okay.
Perhaps it's the most desirable properties, the really prime ones that are the ones currently selling, and that's skewing the median upwards.
That makes sense. If only a few, maybe higher-end or perfectly located homes sell, that could certainly push that median figure up. Now, let's think about how long these homes are actually staying on the market. The DOM, days on market. What were the median days on market?
The median days on market in February was 41 days.
41.
Which is a noticeable increase. In January, it was 32 days.
A bit quicker then.
Yeah, and compared to February of last year, get this, homes sold incredibly quickly then, with a median of just 4 days.
4 days. That's lightning speed.
It really highlights a shift in the market pace, doesn't it?
Yeah.
41 days now versus 4 then. It begs the question, why are buyers taking so much longer to make a decision now? Are they being more selective, maybe worried about the economy or financing?
4 days is practically an instant offer. 41 days definitely suggests a much more considered approach from buyers now. Could changes in interest rates be playing a role here, maybe making people pause a bit longer before committing?
Absolutely. I think rising or just fluctuating interest rates can definitely influence buyer behavior. Higher rates impact affordability, right?
Of course.
So that might lead buyers to take more time, assess their options, really make sure they're making the right financial decision. And, the broader economic outlook of any uncertainty there, that can also contribute to a more cautious approach.
Okay, so just to recap, we have fewer sales, higher prices for those that do sell, and they're staying on the market longer. What about the average sale price per square foot? What does that tell us about the value buyers are seeing?
Right, the price per square foot. In February, the average was $555.
Okay, 5.
Now, while this is lower than the $698 we saw back in February of 2024.
That's quite a bit lower than last year.
It is, but interestingly, it did actually increase from the previous month, from January.
Okay, so up from January, down from last year.
Exactly. This slight upward trend from January could suggest that after maybe a period of price adjustments, the per square foot value might be stabilizing a bit.
Interesting. So while it's not back up to last year's level, it seems to have found some footing recently. Now, what about the list price received? Are sellers still getting close to what they're asking?
Good question. In February, the average list price received was 97%.
97%. Okay, so pretty close.
Yeah, and that's actually a small increase from the 94% in January. So sellers are, on average, getting a little closer to their initial asking price than they were just the month before.
But how does that compare to last year?
Well, that's the key comparison. It's still down from the 101% they received in February of last year.
Ah, so over asking back then.
Exactly. That 101% suggests that a year ago, homes were often selling for over the asking price. So, while the negotiation landscape might be slightly improving for sellers month over month now, buyers still seem to have a bit more leverage than they did a year ago.
Right. Okay, let's try and put all these pieces together. It sounds like we have a situation where there's still a definite desire to live in Imperial Beach.
That coastal appeal.
Likely because of that attractive lifestyle, but there just aren't many homes changing hands.
Very few.
And while those that do sell are commanding higher prices, buyers are clearly taking their time to decide.
That's a pretty concise summary, yeah. The enduring appeal of Imperial Beach seems to be maintaining demand, but the limited inventory and perhaps those broader economic factors we mentioned are leading to fewer transactions and a more cautious buyer.
Now, the report also breaks down the market by price range, looking at quartiles. I think this can give us an even clearer picture, maybe nuances of what's happening at different price points. What did we learn when we looked at those different segments?
Yeah, examining the market by price quartile really helps reveal those nuances within Imperial Beach real estate. So, the top 25%, the most expensive homes sold, had a median price of $1,090,000.
Okay, over $1 million.
And they took a median of 59 days to sell. The average price per square foot in this upper segment was $688.
So premium prices almost 2 months on market.
Right. It suggests that at the higher end, properties command significant prices but might require a longer time to find the right buyer, you know?
That makes sense. Those are likely the homes with premium features, maybe ocean views, big upgrades, and they naturally appeal to a smaller pool of buyers. What about the next level down, the second quartile?
Okay, the second quartile, the next 25% of homes by price, showed a median price of $993,696. So just under that million mark, basically the overall median.
Right, very close to the overall.
But here's the striking part. A remarkably short median days on market of just 8 days.
8 days, wow.
And an average of $579 per square foot. This is quite striking, especially compared to the 59 days for the top tier. It indicates that homes in this upper middle price range are actually selling very quickly.
So like a sweet spot.
Perhaps, maybe these homes represent a sweet spot in terms of size, amenities, and price for a larger segment of the buyer pool active right now.
8 days is incredibly fast in this current climate. What about the third quartile then?
The third quartile had a median price of $965,000. A median days on market of 41 days, which, interestingly, aligns exactly with the overall median for February, and an average price per square foot of $399.
Quite a drop in price per square foot there compared to the upper tiers.
It is, so we're seeing very different speeds of sale depending on the price point. It looks like those luxury properties take longer.
59 days.
While homes in that slightly lower but still substantial range, that second quartile,
8 days.
they're moving much, much more quickly. It really highlights that the market isn't uniform across all price points.
Absolutely not. It's segmented.
Exactly. The data suggests that different segments are experiencing different levels of activity. That rapid movement in the second quartile could indicate strong demand for homes that offer that balance of desirability and, well, relative affordability within the Imperial Beach context.
Now, beyond just the raw numbers, the report also touches on something that's really key to understanding Imperial Beach. The lifestyle it offers. It's not just about the houses themselves, is it?
No, not at all. Imperial Beach offers a very specific and, frankly, attractive way of life, and that's a huge part of what drives its real estate market.
You mean the beach?
Well, yeah, it's a community deeply connected to the ocean and outdoor living. You have incredible access to surfing, fishing right off the pier, miles of beach for walking and exploring. It's really a haven for anyone who loves the outdoors.
And it's got the unique local character, too, right? Those independent shops, a variety of places to eat right by the beach.
Yeah.
It creates this really relaxed but still vibrant feel. Kind of funky sometimes.
Absolutely. Laid back yet vibrant is a good way to put it. And think about the community events, the famous sandcastle competition, local art fairs.
Oh, yeah, the sandcastles are amazing.
These things really showcase the creative and sort of close-knit spirit of Imperial Beach. That sense of community and the unique lifestyle are, they're intangible benefits, but they absolutely contribute to why people want to live there and consequently to the dynamics of the real estate market.
It's that whole package, isn't it? The location, the lifestyle, that strong community vibe. It all adds to the appeal, adds to the demand. Now, these insights we've been discussing come from Don Lewis and the Lewis team.
Mm-hmm.
Why is their perspective particularly valuable when we're trying to understand this specific market?
Well, Don Lewis and the Lewis team have a really long-standing presence and deep expertise in the San Diego real estate market overall, but particularly in the South Bay region, which obviously includes Imperial Beach.
Right, they're known for South Bay.
Yeah, they bring over 35 years of experience to the table and have a proven track record with literally thousands of successful home sales. That level of experience, combined with their specific focus on these local communities, gives them a really nuanced understanding of the market trends.
So they're not just looking at broad regional trends like San Diego County as a whole. They have that really granular, on-the-ground knowledge of what's happening in Imperial Beach itself.
Precisely. Their analysis blends that extensive historical perspective with a close look at the current data. They're not just making general statements, they're backing it up with numbers, as we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, their emphasis on client success suggests they are actively working with buyers and sellers in this market every day, giving them real-time insights into the motivations and challenges on both sides of a transaction. You can't beat that first-hand knowledge.
Yeah, that makes sense. So for anyone considering buying or selling in Imperial Beach, tapping into that local expertise seems like a really smart move.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring it all together now. What would you say are the most important things for someone to take away from our deep dive into the February 2025 Imperial Beach single-family home market?
Okay, the key takeaways. I'd say first, we're seeing a very limited number of homes being sold. Super low volume.
Just 3.
Yet, the median price of those sales has significantly increased, which points to strong underlying demand, probably for limited inventory. Second, homes are taking longer to sell compared to the recent past, quite a bit longer than last year, indicating a more cautious buyer approach.
41 days versus 4.
Exactly. Third, while the average price per square foot is down year over year, it has shown a recent increase month over month, suggesting some market stabilization, perhaps.
Okay.
And finally, the market behaves differently at different price points. Remember that fast-moving second quartile? Mid-tier homes seem to be selling much faster than the luxury properties right now.
Got it. So if you've been wondering what's happening in Imperial Beach real estate, this gives you a really solid overview of the current situation, drawing directly from that expert analysis.
Absolutely. It really highlights the interplay between the strong desirability of a coastal community like Imperial Beach and the various economic and market forces currently at play.
And that leads us to our final thought for you to consider. Given that we have this combination of very limited inventory and rising prices, alongside a longer time it takes for homes to sell, what does that tell you about the delicate balance between the enduring appeal of coastal living in a place like Imperial Beach and the actual affordability of that dream in the current economic climate?
That's a good one to ponder.
It's a complex picture, for sure, and we hope this deep dive has given you a much clearer understanding of it. Thanks for tuning in.